What's up everybody, this is Colin Dijs from Dijs University, and in this video we're going to do something I haven't done in a long time. We're going to talk, and we're just going to talk about how to start an affiliate marketing business. I'm going to do another freestyle, so sit back, relax, all you have to do is listen. You can clean your house, do some push-ups, whatever you want to do. I will do a freestyle, so I usually jump from topic to topic, whatever I think of. And I used to do these videos a lot. I haven't done them in a while, but now I feel like it's a good time to get this done. So basically, I get this question every single day. Colin, how do I start an affiliate marketing business? And it's not necessarily an easy question. It's not necessarily a difficult question. It depends on where you're coming from, right? The background. So that's the main issue. What I see and what I always see, and from my personal perspective, is you have to start a business with the right foundation, right? It's basically building a house. If you build a house with a poor foundation, you can imagine that sooner or later it's gonna collapse or implode or whatever, right? So I have a video on my channel where I actually explain how my journey went. So I was working in a call center for 2 years, where I had salary to compensate for my lack of income from the business, right? So I made maybe 1,800 a month, 1,600 a month. I pushed 1,400 into the business, and I lived on 200. This happened several months. I think I spent over 12,000 euros as an investment before getting into proper profitability, because I did drop shipping, I did print on demand, I did SEO, a couple of other things before I finally found the business model I wanted to stick with, which was affiliate marketing, right? So that exchange of income, where you basically have your fixed expenses in terms of investing in your business, and then the month after month, the business earns more money and you can scale down your salary. So I worked about 50 hours a week. I scaled that down to 40, 30, 25, 20. And when I worked 20 hours a week, I made so much income. I made about $10,000 a month in my affiliate marketing business, which basically is revenue, right? Which nets maybe $2,500 profit. So which basically could cover my entire salary. So those 20 hours a week, which is still 80 hours a month, and that was just work. It took me an hour to get there and an hour to get back. So that saved obviously a lot of time. And as soon as I committed to scaling the business from that perspective, obviously I went from 10,000 to 100,000 in my next month, if all you can do is focus on the business, right? But it is about finding that right foundation to have the good starting point to pursue business. Because the reason you get exceptional results, or can get exceptional results, is because there's so much risk. And if there's already so much risk and you want to get on more risk, that I would say is too risky. So when they say 98% of businesses fail in the first year, and of that 2% that make it, 99% fails in the next 5 years, it is a good indicator that business is difficult, and the rewards of business are obviously very extravagant, right? I mean, you can make millions, but the odds of you making millions is very little, right? The odds are very low. But this takes into consideration all businesses, from flower shops to barbers to online marketers to multinationals, right? Who start new businesses. So in that regard, in online marketing, you already have a big time investment and a little capital investment in the beginning, compared to a brick and mortar store where you have to get a lease, inventory, all that stuff. Online, that's not required. But if you imagine that I spent 12,000 euros, which is about 15,000 US dollars, before finding and building a solid business, that is a lot of money. And I could never have done that if I quit my job and then started a business. I see a lot of people asking me Colin, I just got fired, or I got laid off during the pandemic. I need to make income, so I want to start a business. That is the worst position for yourself to start a business. I have a $300,000 medical school debt. I want to start a business. That is a terrible position to start a business in. What you can do, if you really want to, of course, nobody's going to stop you, but you just know that you're adding on additional risk, because you have to pay out the debt and then find investment for the business. Because the odds are that your business is going to make money from day one, 99.9% not. 0.9999999%. So what you have to take into consideration is that will take a significant investment to get to the point where it actually yields profitable returns. Starting point usually is what I did was I make 1,600 euros a month. I invest 1,400 into the business and keep 200 to live. 200, that is minimal. That basically means food. And at the time I still lived with my parents because I couldn't afford an apartment. If you have kids, if you're married, like all these extra variables which cost money add on to the risk of doing business. That's why somebody in their 20s with no responsibilities, with all the income for themselves, can start a business so much more easy than somebody in their 50s with no pension, 4 kids and a huge mortgage and a debt, right? So all these variables taken into consideration, if you want to start an affiliate marketing business, you either need a solid foundation of cash, need replacement income, or you need to work your ass off, right? So I've been working about 100 hours a week for the last 3 years straight, taking one holiday, which was last year in October, when I already made millions, right? So the difference between people who understand this and people who don't understand this is your thought patterns, right? One of the most important things, to be fair, is the way you think and not necessarily the cash or cash flow that you have. You can always find cash because the green river of cash is everywhere. So the issue usually is not starting a business with cash. That's just the foundational theory. The second part is obviously motivation. But motivation comes and goes, you know, motivation goes in spikes. Sometimes you're motivated because you see something and sometimes not. And in those moments that you're not motivated, it has to come through discipline that you have created a pattern already. So once the motivation is high, you need to create patterns for yourself in order to get the discipline you need to have. And my discipline for business actually came through fitness. So if you are regular from the gym, what you'll notice is a lot of successful people have very strict exercise regime as well. The matter of the fact is that, you know, when you want to build muscle, it goes very slow. You need to eat very healthy, very protein rich, progressive overload. When you do this in a natural manner, it takes years. Literally, I've been going to the gym for about 6 years, at least 4 days a week, and I'm not even that big. My genetics are not that great. I am 220 pounds though. So as I might not look that big, there is a solid portion of muscle on my body, of course, from doing the gym for such a long time, right? I can squat 315 pounds. I can deadlift 450 pounds. All these things together, you have to take into consideration the amount of sacrifice you have to go through to get to that level, and that is what created my discipline. So your discipline might come from somewhere else, but having that insane training routine with the food and the sleep and no alcohol, everything combined, obviously was a good foundation to start business, as it requires the same amount of discipline, if not more. The thing what I like though is changes and rapid growth. So as long as you keep yourself responsible, which is also discipline, I would say, there's nothing you really cannot do, you know? In that sense, what that means is, if you want to start an affiliate marketing business and you have the money, or you have found a way to supply your business with cash flow, then you just have to think for yourself, what am I going to do to make this happen? You know, if you work 40 hours a week in your job, right? It means you have about 60 hours, maybe 80 hours worth of work outside your job if you really want to hustle hard, right? Well, let's say you cut another 20 hours for going back and forth to work and preparing for work, then you maybe have 40 to 60 additional hours to get shit done. Why? The reason why I work 100 hours a week minimum, which is like 13 hours a day, right? I get up at 5 a.m., I go to bed at 10 p.m. Usually I work from maybe 5:15 to 7:15. Sometimes I get home at 8, but I leave very early and I come back very late. Obviously, the efficiency throughout the day is not maximum. However, what you have to understand is if you work 80 to 100 hours a week, you're not going to get twice the output of working 40 hours a week, right? However, it increases your odds of success. So if you want it bad enough, then 40 hours a week might give you 100% results, right? But 100 hours a week might get you 130%. So it's not going to give you 2.5% results. No, it is going to 250%. It's going to give you only an additional 30%. So that 60 hours of extra work will only give you an additional 30% because you're getting tired, you're not as motivated, you don't have as many ideas, your employees are not working, blah, 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 whatever, right? Then for you, the question is, are you as hungry to pursue that 30% for 60 hours extra work? Or will you take the 40 hours for 100%? This is different per person. There's not really a real reason why one is better than the other, because it's not. If you have kids, then obviously you want to dedicate time to your kids. If you have a wife, you want to take care of your wife or husband. All these things taken into consideration, there is really no right or wrong answer. All I can say for me personally is that I don't have any commitments, so I can just put it full force in the business. And obviously over time, that extra 30% pays off tremendously. Because basically every 3.5 days, 3.25 days, I have one additional day of work done. In terms of results, that is also the case. So whether it's media buying or YouTube or my new forum, they all require some attention throughout the day. But when you plan things accordingly, have the right foundation, have the right mindset, that is all possible, And coming back to the point of motivation, the difference between motivation and discipline is you are motivated, you're going to do something. But what if you're not motivated and still doing it? And I would say that is what discipline is. Sometimes I don't feel like going to the gym. I woke up at 5, I ate my healthy rice and chicken, with some spinach or broccoli or whatever all day, 3 times a day. Not really want to get any bigger, don't want to get any smaller. I don't really watch my food that much anymore. Just doing what I usually do, my daily routine. That is the discipline. Get home at 7:30. Okay, what do? Do I go play some PlayStation until 9, 10 and then sleep? Or do I go to the gym and then sleep straight after? And on those days, you really know what your discipline is. Because if you still go to the gym because you have long-term goals, instead of giving in to short-term gratification, that is where, in my opinion, the results are built. And whether it is gym or drinking with friends or going to the movies, in the last 3 years, I know that the friends I've had are nowhere in the position that I am right now. And that's not a bad thing. They chose to go a different path. And that choice in combination with discipline, you are the only one responsible for your actions. And if you want that responsibility, if you can deal with it and with the discipline, you might have the opportunity to yield amazing results. So now I've said, right, you need the right foundation, you need enough cash flow, you need motivation to get started, you need discipline to get going. Then basically the 5th point is also related to the mindset game, which is you need to be able to stay accountable for your actions, right? I truly believe that as soon as you are accountable for every move you make, you no longer have any excuses. And if you no longer have excuses, then you are in complete control of everything that happens, and it's going to happen. So let's say I cross the road and I get hit by a car because that person was driving and texting at the same time. So in common theory, we would say that person is wrong because you shouldn't be texting and driving at the same time. However, I don't control that person, so I don't control the outcome, right? We have rules, we have police, but if I want to control the foreseeable future, I cannot put blame on a police car not being there or the person texting while they shouldn't. If I would have left my house 10 seconds later, that car would have already gone by and I wouldn't get hit by the car, right? So this is a pretty far-fetched simulation, but it goes in every way. In business, when I started my YouTube channel, there were two things, okay? I make a YouTube video, I go online and people laugh at me, and then I don't have a YouTube channel and I don't have subscribers. But then I thought that is exactly the same as I have right now. I don't have a channel, I don't have subscribers, and I haven't learned a single thing. So obviously, making all these YouTube videos, there's so many haters out there. Oh, you're ugly. Oh, you have no money. Oh, this is a scam. Oh, I don't want to listen to you. Why you make videos, blah, 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 blah. All these fucking retards, right? All the haters. But it is also a development process. When I look at my first video posted on the 5th of December 2019, compared to the videos I make now, my English wasn't as good, I was stuttering a little bit, it wasn't edited that well, so many things learned along the way. And the same thing in my affiliate marketing business, if you compare my first campaign to what I'm doing right now, right? I would have never been able to get my breakthrough success with sweepstakes and Facebook ads if I didn't do dropshipping and print on demand. Because I promoted those dropshipping products and print on demand products through Facebook ads. So when somebody told me about the sweepstakes, I was just able to wrap it up real quick, get everything going, because I already knew how to run ads. And I would say that is one of the more important things. If you focus on learning, focus on exploring, especially in business. So when we get back to the topic of how to start a business, if you keep feeding the business with money, let's say $1,000 a month, I think from $1,000 a month, you can already learn a lot of different things. And you stick with one goal, right? So let's say CPA marketing, vertical and traffic sources you might be able to change sometimes. Don't change too often. Don't go for the shiny object syndrome. However, if you want to start an affiliate marketing business and you feed it $1,000 a month, you focus on paid traffic, and you try things. If you are really committed and you work, let's say, even 20 hours a week consistently, you got to achieve results within 6 months. If you can't, you're just lying to yourself because you haven't been doing the work. I've literally trained maybe over 5,000 people so far in the last year and a half. And the common flow I see in entrepreneurship, in people who want to become an affiliate marketer, is that they're lazy. I am very lazy, but I also know that to get results, you need to sacrifice the laziness for the greater good, for the long-term flow, right? And people are just lying to themselves. No discipline, no self-realization. It's always the ads are not working, the traffic is shit, your mastermind is crap, blah, blah, blah. All these excuses. But from last year, my first mastermind in April, right? I basically only taught those people 10% of what I'm teaching right now in my mastermind, right? And I have guys who a year later, yes, exactly 1 year later, are doing 4,000, 10,000 a day on a method I taught them 1 year ago. And I think that is amazing. Also, there were maybe 50 people in that mastermind. 40 of them are doing nothing right now, right? But it's that 10 people group who are either running some traffic and like 3 or 4 people are killing it right now. So I haven't watched their statistics for a while, but they still fill out their homework every single day. They still follow the patterns, the discipline that I try to teach them. And I did the same thing in September. I did the same thing in December, but the results were very different because, things take time. You cannot have unrealistic expectations. So Samir made a great post in the forum, the Dijs forum, my affiliate marketing community the other day, where he had like 10 mistakes that affiliate marketing beginners make. And One of them was have unrealistic expectations. Even if you buy a course from somebody, join a Dijs forum, affiliate marketing community, buy my mastermind whenever I'm doing one, you cannot expect to make 10, 100,000, a million a month in your first month. That's just not going to happen. It might happen. We've had guys who pushed 100,000 in their first month, but just like me, they had experience in some other field. If you are working at a flower shop right now, you have no knowledge except watching some YouTube videos where everybody tells something else. Obviously, you will have to spend more time on learning these things than others might need to do. And as long as you are aligned with realistic expectations, which mainly comes down to non-emotional decision making, so look at how it is and don't make it worse than it is. You know, when I'm telling you, if you invest $1,000 a month into your business for 6 months and you haven't achieved anything, then it's you. Then it's not the business model. Then it's not any business model that is going to help you, because first you need to help yourself. You need to help yourself in terms of what are realistic results, right? What are, well, let me give you an example, right? Let me see how long I've been going so far, because this, I'm developing a software right now, right? A very big software, huge project, costs tons of money. And I'm doing that for you guys, for my audience, to make your affiliate marketing business easier, more smooth, and obviously, hopefully, I'll make good money off it as well. Going into this, the break even on this project is 6 months of promotion, because it costs a lot of money to get it online. It costs a lot of money to maintain and then promote, right? So all these things together, I'm looking at maybe a 6-figure investment maybe. So that is obviously a lot of money, especially for a side project. However, I am realistic enough to know that this project can earn me millions over the next 10 years. And as I already have the foundation, which for me, the foundation is my businesses, which supply me with cash flow to invest into this project, I might add another asset. However, it also requires discipline, because I work all day on the other businesses, right? I make YouTube videos, I do coaching, I do the media buying, and now we do the software. So I cannot make more hours in the day, and I'm capped. Like if you email me right now, you have to wait 1 week to get a reply usually, or my assistant replies you. I am capped on time. Then what I used to do is I would focus on what makes them the most money right now, right? So if I would develop software, it's not going to make me money now. It's going to make me money in 6 months. So I better do media buying because it's going to make me money now. You do that until a certain point where you have enough cash. And then you're looking at building instead of churning and burning, right? So now I'm in the building phase. We invest cash for future profits. Now the Corona crisis hit the whole market. Things have take a turn for the worst. You know, you have to pause employees, or you have to get more employees basically to get more development faster for the softwares and everything. And it's just very intense. And what I mean by this is that it all comes back to the main point of having a strong foundation, which is in this case cash flow, my businesses. Then having the right people and have that self-discipline to know if something goes wrong, it is me, right? What do I need to do and how do you make it work? And the best thing you can do at such a point, because even with software, you might be thinking right now, Colin, all this information is great, but I don't even know how to actually start an affiliate marketing business. You gave me some tips on mindset. You gave me some tips on the foundation. But what am I going to do next? And that's a good one. You need to ask for advice. I have been talking with some of my coaching students about this. There are millions of options, right? So let me give you an example. I do the same for the software. I hire consultants just to tell me which programming language to use. Because I now know you have JavaScript, you have PHP, you have some other things, Ruby, I don't know. I've seen many different things over the last couple of days. I don't know what the fuck it means. I don't know how to code like that. I know how to read HTML, but that's the fucking basic shit of fucking coding. So I went to some consultants, and the same thing is what people do with me. And sometimes these consultants are free. So, sometimes they are friends, and sometimes these consultants cost money. It depends on what you ask them, obviously. So let me give you an example. One of my students recently asked me, what is a good CTR on a landing page for Nutra or native? Well, I know the average CTR for my campaigns on native and Nutra. However, it depends on what kind of offer and what kind of country. Why? Because if I run in the UK, my CPM might be $1, and if I run in the US, the CPM might be $10. This will affect also customer behavior patterns. If I use one exchange, the CPM might be $1 for US traffic, and on another exchange, the CPM might be $20, which would assume that the $20 one is higher quality traffic, which potentially gives a higher click-through rate. All in all, you're playing with maybe 1,000 different variables, right? Location, time, person, interests, devices, connections. So what happens is it's like 50 times 50 times 50 times 50 times 50 times 50, 8 different variables, 50 options each. Okay, let me do the math, right? 8 different variables, 50 options each. So that is 50 times 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 50. Oh, I fucked it up already. But it's more than 3 billion options, I think. Let me see. 50 times 50 times 50 times 50 times 50. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 9.76562 E, so 16 zeros. That's like more than billion, trillion. I don't know how many that is. So many different options there could be potentially with that many variables. And that's why I'm saying it can never be as accurate. However, if the question is, give me an indication for this source, so let's say Nativo, Nutra, ClickBank, LabDetox, Arizona, so I know the state, I know the source, I know the offer, I know the affiliate network, all these different things, then it already drilled down to maybe 1,000 options, but I can still give a way more accurate estimation than I could ever done otherwise. So these things are important, there's a difficult human aspect to business, which revolves around emotion. So if you take the emotion out of business, you follow the data, you can do great business. However, I truly believe that without emotion, you will never get your business far, because businesses are built on people. And to deal with people, you need a lot of emotion. To understand them, to develop them, to teach them, and to learn from them, right? To get started with business, if you just follow the data, that is very easy, right? So emotional decision making can ruin a business or can make a business do great things. But I would say if you are just the only one in your business, try to remove your emotion out of the equation to get the best results. As soon as you start hiring people, bring in emotion, because you need to understand why people are behaving in certain ways. So again, how to start an affiliate marketing business. There are a million different things and a million of different variables and probably 100 billion, gazillion, trillion different outcomes. And it's so difficult to know if your business is going to flourish or decline. All you can do is give it your maximum every single day and do whatever you can do. So remove hope. Obviously, you have to believe in yourself. You have to be guided by vision, but give it your all. And if you're watching Netflix, you're a fucking pussy. You need to be working. And I strongly believe about the mentality of giving it your all every single day. People who say you need to give your mind some rest, you need to enjoy time, you need to see your friends, fuck you. That's why you don't have a good business. I work 12 hours a day every single day. I look at my face, I feel kind of tired, I just shave my beard. And when I need to clear my head, I walk half an hour to an hour in the woods, or I go to the gym. So I have the woods next to my house. I like to go for an evening walk in spring and summer, which clears my head, or I go to the gym, which clears my head. And other than that, you have to make priorities. So is your family a priority? Is your friends a priority? Is your business a priority? Is exercise a priority? And as soon as you build your priority list, you know what is most important to you. And if it's not business, it doesn't matter. Even if business comes on the 4th place, it doesn't mean you cannot build a successful business. It is all situation based. Just know that if your business comes in the 4th place and you're not making money, that is on you. And only you. And even if you are in the 1st place and you're not making money, that's also on you. So what I recommend you to do if you want to start an affiliate marketing business, build a solid foundation. Do that by building a plan, a cash flow plan. How much money are you going to invest? How much do you want to get out? Have realistic expectations. How are you going to do your planning? Then get motivation by watching motivational videos, follow on Instagram, do whatever you have to do, read some books, and then create discipline. Do the things you don't want to do. The best thing I've ever done is wake up at 5 a.m., even though I didn't want to. 2 weeks later, it was in my routine. If I have no alarm, I wake up at 5:30 a.m. If I have an alarm, I wake up at 5 a.m., half an hour before my alarm goes off. It's my neurological thing, I guess. Create discipline. Plan accordingly, network, and also make a priority list, right? Very, very important. I can literally talk about this for hours and hours on end, all the different topics, but it's quite hard to freestyle. I think we've done it pretty well so far. Let me see how long we have to chat for. Over 30 minutes already. So I'm going to close this down, but I want to do another episode like this to hopefully answer one of the more deep conversation topics, maybe bring somebody on to discuss as well. So if you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts and comments in the description down below with the comments are at. And then I will have a look, maybe pick your topics up for the next video or just engage on them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.